Hi everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. This is Kathy and I am back with another card featuring the Be Happy stamp set from Pink and Maine. And again, I'm using the Celebrate paper pad as well as the scallop wavy border dies. I started out by stamping the little bee onto a piece of 80-pound Nina Solar White cardstock. I used My Favorite Things Extreme Black Hybrid ink, and I will be, of course, doing some Copic coloring. Now, I stamped the bee in the bottom left-hand corner because I had kind of planned out that I wanted to use the scallop wavy border dies so that I could kind of split the card and have the white cardstock on the bottom left and then patterned cardstock up on the right hand side. So as I do the coloring, the markers that I use will pop up in the left hand corner for you, and they're also listed in the order in which I use them. So with that, I am going to go ahead and play some music for you to enjoy while I finish up the coloring, and then I'll be back to put the card together. Now that the coloring is done, it's time to start putting the card together. And there were a few times where I kind of changed my mind on what I wanted to do. The first thing I did was I took the wavy border die and die cut that against the edge of the white cardstock so I could have a nice wave on the piece with the bead that I had colored. And then I took a piece of the patterned paper from the Celebrate paper pack and decided that I wanted to have kind of a separation between the white cardstock and the patterned cardstock. So I used the scallop wavy border die and cut that from purple cardstock. Then I decided that it was a little bit too big, so I used a stitched rectangle die to cut all of the pieces down so that they would all be the same size. And then I adhered the bee to the purple scallop piece and adhered that to the balloon patterned paper. And I had also die cut a purple piece of paper, say that 5 times fast, with a stitched rectangle die so that I could continue the purple border around the edge. After I had adhered the patterned paper to the purple paper, I decided that my little bee in the corner was a little lonely, so I added a couple of the tiny little bees from the stamp set. I used a fine tip marker to add some trails behind them. I also dotted a little eye on each of the bees. Very simple coloring of the tiny little bees, just Y15 and BG quadruple 0 for their wings. After I had that done, I adhered that to the front of a top folding A2 sized white note card and decided to actually stamp on the inside of my card this time, which is not something I normally do. But I decided that the sentiment, "Just heard the buzz, it's your birthday," would be perfect to go on the inside. So I used my VersaFine Onyx Black ink to stamp that down and then added 2 more of the tiny little bees. Used the same markers to color them in, and of course added the buzzy trail with a fine tip marker and added little dots to their face so that they could have an eye as well. The next thing I did was use a white gel pen to add polka dots to the presents, and the last step was to add a little bit of glitter to the wings of all of the bees using my Wink of Stella glitter pen. That finishes up my card for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, I'd love it if you would. And don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified every time a new video is posted. Thanks again for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.